Hey, how y'all doing out there today? I'm here with another topic that I've been thinking about. Uh, Everybody been throwing out different opinions on it. I thought somebody needed to come to the forefront with some numbers and some solutions of ways that we can try to stop this process of happening. It gets a lot of attention when it's a celebrity that does it, i.e., R. Kelly, uh, Michael Jackson, or whoever else was accused of something, which is child molestation or sexual assault. Um, we talk about it, and everybody looks at it as being something bad. But the reason why some people blame the kids, some people blame the adults. I'm always gonna blame the older person. It's no child that's out there that wants to be molested. They're caught up in the hype, far as um, a molester is somebody who uses different tactics, far as getting close with the person, grooming them, making them feel special. You know what I'm saying? Ways to make that person get comfort in them, and then once they commit the act, it's almost like a fear factor to where the person that was molested doesn't speak out because they don't think this is going to be believed. And the percentages show that most people, most kids who tell on somebody that touched them is telling the truth. It's 96% of all kids who tell on this reporting a sexual assault are telling the truth. Let me repeat that. 96% of kids are telling the truth. Now, if that number seems alarming, it's because it is. That means we need to start believing these kids more and stop questioning them. Or stop believing that person just because we got a history with that person that we're going to discredit our own kids. But let me throw out some numbers to everybody so that we can be on the same page. Since 1993, from 93 to 2016, sexual violence rate has fallen 63%. So it is declining, but we need to take our part to do more till we can get it down even lower. It shouldn't be all this. It shouldn't be such a high rate. You know what I'm saying? One out of 33 males are victims of attempted or committed a completed rape. I'm sorry. I'll be looking down a lot because I'm reading off my notes. One in 33 males are experienced attempted or completed rape. One out of every 6 women have been a victim of attempted or completed rape. One out of every 6 women. Man, that's a staggering number. Had me thinking about all the females that I have in my family. That's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? That is unacceptable. 63,000 kids per year are a victim of sexual assault. 63,000. That's a lot of kids whose lives are changed forever each year. 63,000. And these numbers are based off of the United States. Most sexual assaults with teens occur between the ages of 12 and 17 years old. That's when a majority of it happens. 34% of it is under age of 12. A majority of sexual assaults, which we need to talk about even more, a majority of sexual assaults occur at home. 55%, to be exact with numbers. 55% of them occur at home. So how everybody pointing fingers at R. Kelly, there's a lot of R. Kellys at home that's not even getting pointed out. Maybe because some people don't want to point it out, or put it on blast for shame of the family, or I don't understand, whatever it is. But if it's somebody in your family doing it, one, you need to report it, talk to that person, get his ass some help or get her some help, either way. keep your kids and everybody from around them. They don't think they just doing it to one child. They doing it to whatever child that they able to cultivate and groom to allow them to assault them. 55% of it occurs at home. Only 15% in an open place. Uh, you know, playground, library, some open place like that. Only 15%. 12% at a relative's house. Cousins, uncle, aunt, auntie. 12%. 10% in an enclosed but public place, like a garage, parking lot, things of that nature. And then 8% on school property. So the overwhelming results show that most sexual assaults occur at home, and most of the time it's happening between the ages of 12 and 17. Talk to your kids a lot. We need to start young with age appropriate. They said start at the age of 3 with age appropriate ways that you can give them. You can educate them on body safety. Body safety. Far as if you start at 3, do something that a 3-year-old should know, and at each year you add a little bit more, so they can explain to you if something does happen. When they tell you, do not get mad at them for no reason, or get mad at them and say, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Be happy they told you, because most kids that are, what is it? Most kids that are don't even report it until a year later. Um, most kids. Most of them that don't report it after a year later report it after 5 years. So be blessed that they even told you, because it's a big step for them to even tell you, because you got to imagine the emotions they going through. Most kids that are molested are seeking attention, or come from single parent homes, or they like the attention. So once they do get it from that person, it's easier for them to be attached to them and welcome it, even though they know it's wrong. So being that young is a conflicting age. I mean, it's a conflicting experience, and is at a critical age where the brain is processing, so they might not understand it all the way. So they might need that adult guidance to help them get through it, instead of quick to point the finger at them and say that they are wrong. And all right, so and most of the times, this is what's happening when the people who are molested, with the 55% at home, 15% in the open place, 12% in the relatives home, 10% in a closed but public place, and 8% on school property. This is what most of them are doing. 48% of them are sleeping or doing other home activities. 29 are traveling to and from school, work, going to a shop, run errands, some of that nature. 12% of them at work, 7% at school, and 5% that's doing some unknown activities or any other activities. 73% tell the issue after a year later, and it was 45% that tells 5 years later. So when somebody tell you, when a child tell you, more than likely it didn't happen already, and they finally build up enough courage to let you know. And most of them tell a friend first. So if we are working as a community, and you're teaching your child the same thing as I'm teaching my child as far as body safety. If my child tells your child, then hopefully that you and your child has a relationship to where you can relay the message to my family, and we can get everything corrected. That's what I think of. It takes a village to raise a child. That's the way I think of the concept of that wording. But 1 out of every 10 children will be abused before the age of 18. 1 out of every 10 will be abused. And most people who are most people who are molesting kids got molested as kids. It's almost like it's a learned behavior. They do it even though they know it's wrong. They still do it uh, because that's what was done to them. It's almost like it becomes a habit. But there are some sick individuals that need help. Anybody that preys on children, innocence, needs help. And we as family members and friends of family members, we need to start speaking out on family members who we know are this way. We know there's a lot of people, oh, I ain't gonna say there's a lot of people, but we know it's some people that are this way that we question, but we never say anything. Now is the time to say something, because it's kids that are being affected, which is altering the potential that they have to be great. 39% of girls 7 through 12 that have some contact with sexual activity, sexual assault, have academic difficulties. That's one of the causes of not talking to your child. Now they're going to be struggling in school, so their potential is cut short. 2 times more teen mothers, the kids that are getting pregnant early, have been sexually assaulted. So it's something that we need to take heed into. Talk to these kids, talk to these girls. Most males that have been sexually assaulted more than likely will get a teen pregnant that started having sex at a young age or inappropriate behaviors at a young age. A male will more likely get a teen pregnant early. Some solutions that we can do is, please talk to your kids. Stop blaming your kids. Your child is not hot or wanted that action or put herself in that position. It's a grown man or somebody that's usually older than them that's doing what he's doing. They didn't have time to mature, grow, and find ways to manipulate people. So it's those people are the ones who are in fault. This can lead to a whole lot of mental health issues in the future. So, like depression, thinking of suicide, psychological treatment, medicine, taking pills, all that can be caused from one tragic or a couple events that happened that was never paid attention to. That it seems like if we all work together, that's something that we can correct, and maybe the community as one can grow and be more cohesive. Talk to your kids about adults just doing special favors for them, paying special attention, again, them special gifts. If they ever take them to a room by themselves and shut the door, that's something that needs to be reported. If they take them or some other kids, because anytime an adult is removing a child from the rest of them secretly, I hope your child would tell just as well as I hope my child would tell. And if you find out somebody has done it, don't take the matters into your own hand. Call 911. Get the police involved. Get that person some help. And also get your kids some help, or that child that was involved in it, get them some help. If you know somebody who has been molested in the past, I know it's hard for them to talk about it, but try to have some understanding to find out who the person that did the situation to them, and get that person some help, because it's a process that can be repeated over and over again if somebody is given free range to do whatever. It's not safe saying, well, don't do that around him. Don't let that person go around here by himself. Nah, that ain't good. That means you know that he does something wrong, and the remedy is don't put yourself in that situation to where he can have the chance to do it. Nah, get his ass locked up. He ain't gonna have no. Then there's no situation you have to worry about. That's just my take on it. The first part, I probably have another video with some more numbers coming up here shortly. But yeah, leave your comments, questions, your opinions. If you're somebody who went through it, through any kind of sexual assault, please get yourself some help. Stay positive and keep moving forward.